Hello guys, how you doing? It's Kasim. I want to talk about Drake and this whole hot sauce stuff. You know, I was supposed to do a video on this about 2 weeks ago, but what ended up happening was loads of things happened, and I couldn't manage to do a video on it. But I wanted to do a video because there's two things that I wanted to tell you lads, which I think is really important that you understand, and I hope that they can add some value to you. By the way, guys, welcome back again to my channel. How you doing? I hope you're okay. I hope your family's alright. I hope you've been still going to the gym, working out, looking good, and bettering yourself. So as I say, I want to talk to you about this whole Drake thing. There's two things. This whole Drake thing and this woman trying to sue him and putting hot sauce in his condom, which is very funny, but I'm not surprised. But before I get into that, guys, if you want to help me get to 1,000 subscribers by June, please can you like and subscribe to my channel? You would be an absolute legend. Okay, one. A lot of men underestimate the strategic thinking and the manipulation of women. I'll repeat. A lot of men underestimate the strategic thinking and the manipulation of women. You know, I'm writing this book about manhood, and it's called Kidulthood to Manhood, Kidulthood to Adulthood, and it's all about, like, how do you know that you're a man? And one of the things that I talk about in that book is that there is a day when you realize the nature of women. And it's actually a very shocking day. It's a very, very scary day. The day you realize, oh, so this is what women are like. Now, usually, for most men, we learn this when they cheat on us, or they break up with us, or they break up with us and they go with our best friend, or they cheat on us with somebody who we know, or we're in a relationship and they've been cheating on us and it's out of nowhere and we've had no idea. That's usually when most lads find out about the nature of women and how women truly are. And it's a very scary day because the majority of men, I say the majority of men, most men are taught in kind of Western civilization that women are supposed to be pure. They're supposed to be innocent. They're supposed to be butter wouldn't melt. But that's not how women are. So, well, let me rephrase that. That's not how some women are. Okay? Because I know many of you are going to say, well, Kasim, that's bullshit. Because there's exceptions to every rule. I agree. There's always exceptions to every rule. But the majority of women are like this. Okay? And it's funny because I was having a conversation with somebody where I was saying to him, look, I said that women cheat as much as men do. My mate said, no, Cass, I don't think women cheat. I said, I'm telling you. Because if men cheat as much as they cheat, who do they cheat with? They must cheat with women, right? And if they're cheating with women, that means all of these women can't be in relationships. Can't be single, sorry. So many of them are in relationships, which means that all of these women are also cheating. So there is a saying, I heard this saying which said, men and women cheat, just women are better liars. Women are better at not being caught, right? Men are stupid. We're so silly sometimes that we will use, like women are so clever, they won't message the man unless they're at work. They'll use different websites, they'll delete the apps. Men will keep the apps on our phone, right? We will use stuff that is like, we will behave a certain way. Like, women always know when a man changes because his demeanor changes when he starts talking to a girl. And so women pretty much automatically can very quickly tell when a man is cheating. But women are very good at playing the role. And I guess this is really the point that I wanted to get to you. Because a lot of guys have never truly seen women for their true nature. And this is actually one of the things that leads to a lot of guys ending up divorcing their women. So in the UK, since the 1960s, about 60 to 70% of all files for divorce have been by the woman. That tells you that most men are not going to file for divorce. It is going to be the woman. Therefore, and I was like, so why are all these women filing for divorce? And one of the common reasons that I kept hearing women say is, Cass, I just don't respect him anymore. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? What do you mean you don't respect him anymore? Basically what this meant because men and women, the word respect isn't the same for men and women. What women mean when they say I don't respect him is when I first met him, he used to go to the gym, he used to be super ambitious, but now that we're together, he just panders to me. You know, happy wife, happy home. What a load of bollocks. Because that means you're no longer a man. What made her attracted to you in the first place was that you were disciplined, like you were focused, right? Women want a man who in a certain aspects gives her attention, but then he goes back and focuses on his thing. There are some men who are simps. You just simply give all your attention to the woman. You give her everything that she wants whenever she wants. Just irrelevant of even relationships. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants a pushover. Nobody wants anyone who hasn't got a backbone. And a lot of guys end up in that position. And so the woman ends up in a position where, because the man keeps giving stuff to her all the time, he is not making hard decisions. He's not leading the family, right? And a lot of women, when they get into a relationship and they settle into the relationship, they want the man to lead. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't want the man to obviously talk about the different choices that he's about to make and the plans that he has. Of course, you have to communicate that. You have to decide that. But the man has to ultimately be making decisions, taking risks for the family, planning ahead. And a lot of guys don't do that. You know, I say to a lot of you guys, when I meet you in person, that a lot of guys, when we get into a relationship, we're done. We settle down. We're like, Cass, I've given her everything she wanted. I've given her engagement. I've given her the wedding. Man, it was difficult. I've given her the home. Whew, I can relax. See, the thing is, that's not how women think. Women think the complete opposite. They think, right, now that I've married you, now that I've fully committed to you, it's time for you to step up. Because I'm thinking that, because for most women won't have children until they get married. Because women are told that society tells women that what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to find love, get married, and then start a family. So women won't rarely have children with a man until they're married. And let me give you a phrase that I tell people. Men regard who they marry higher and women regard who they have a child with higher. I repeat, men regard who they marry higher. Men, meaning that men will have a baby with anyone. You've seen men who have multiple baby mamas, right? But who they marry, they won't, because men know that if I get married to her and she divorces me, I'm gonna have to give her half of everything I own, and I'm gonna be stuck in this painful relationship. Like, men hate feeling trapped, and they hate feeling like this woman's horrible to them. They just don't want to be in a relationship. Whereas women regard who they have a baby with higher, because they know that if he can't take care of himself or he's going to abandon them, then she's fucked. She's stuck with this baby for the next 18 years and her life is practically over in terms of freedom of whatever she wants to do. And she can't really maintain the lifestyle that she wants. That's why usually she needs to get married to him, because if he leaves him, if he leaves her, then at least she has the security of their house, of their finances, their pension, whatever it may be. So let's go back. So a lot of women, when they get married, they're thinking, no, I'm ready for you to now step up. I'm ready for you to now go to the next level. A lot of women, I'm telling you now, here's the thing that you have to remember. And I'm going to talk about this in the next point. In fact, let's go into the next point because it naturally is a good point. The second point that I wrote down is that most women don't want a man, most women don't want to work, and they are hypergamous. Okay? So what does this mean? Do you know what? Before I get into this, let me go back to my first point, because I want to finish that off. So my point to you is, a lot of men underestimate that once a woman wants something, she will do anything to get it. There are women who strategically, I was watching a video of a woman who tells women how to get a high value man, meaning like a footballer, like a basketball player. The woman tells women how to get them. And I mean, I was so fascinated by this woman. She was so clever. She was like, look, if you want to get this kind of man who's like a footballer, find out when guys are playing. Find out what hotel they're staying in. Go to their hotel. sit in the bar of, so a lot of the men will arrive a day before, a lot of the football teams will arrive a day before their game, book into their hotel, speak to people in the hotel about when they're going to be eating in the dining area, put on your best dress, put on your makeup and go and sit at the bar, okay? Go and have a meal in the restaurant. Why? Because all of the guys are going to be talking about you. They're going to be asking the waiters about you. Are you staying at the hotel? Are you single? Do you see what I mean? And I was like, man, these sisters are so intelligent. They're not dumb. They know how to get, because think, how would a normal girl ever get to have access to a footballer? She just isn't. You have to be in the same vicinity as the footballer. And a lot of footballers have so many women constantly asking for them that of course you're going to stand out if you're actually there in person with him. And I thought, see, most guys, they don't even realize this stuff. And if the woman is really clever, a lot of women know that once you give them a baby, you're pretty much theirs. You're tied to them at least for the next 18 years. You can't escape it. And if you're really a good guy, then you will definitely want to make it work. You will definitely be there for her, and automatically you're providing for her. Because remember, the more well off you are, the more the court wants you to maintain the woman's lifestyle. Because the way it works is you're not going to feed your child and then not feed the mum. That's not how it works. They want you to maintain the mother's lifestyle as well as the child. And so, man, I'm telling you, if a woman already has a kid, particularly in America, if the woman already has a kid and she finds you and she doesn't tell you any of this and you make her pregnant, now, and remember, you have to maintain her lifestyle, she's sorted. Even if she breaks up with you, she's got access to your money for the next 18 years of her life. So her lifestyle is going to be maintained. You've seen what's happened with people like Dr. Dre, millions of pounds. And you think, how in the world can you be spending all these millions of pounds on a kid? It doesn't cost millions of pounds. No, but the court wants the person to maintain, the mother to maintain her lifestyle. Otherwise, it's too much disruption to the child. She's sorted. And a lot of you guys, you're so naive as to think women wouldn't do that. They would. Not every woman, but some will. And you have to be particularly careful the more successful you are. Anyway, let me go back to the second point, which is what I want to talk to you about, which is that most women don't want to work that are hypergamous. So most women are hypergamous. Hypergamy means that women marry across and up, meaning they want a guy who is on the same level as them or more. So they want a man who is, if she's got a master's degree, you need to have a master's degree as well or more. If she is earning £100,000 a year, you need to earn £100,000 a year or more, right? If she is living the kind of lifestyle where she goes out for meals every single day or she eats out every single day, you have to match that or more. Women don't want to date down because women instinctively know that at some point they're not going to want to work. Very few women over the age of 32 want to be still competing at CEO level, a boss level. I hear women say, oh, Cash, I'm a boss girl. Yes, but most women if you go into most companies, it is nothing to do with the hypergamy or of the patriarchy or anything like that. Just most women don't want to compete, don't want to be working 60 hours every single week and 6-7 days a week when they're like 35. They don't want to do it. And even worse than that is there is a huge pressure, particularly from the women's social circle, that women who are married don't want women who are single in their circle. Because of course, women know that you're more likely to take their husbands. And if their husbands are doing really well and you're single, you're a lot more likely to cheat. So women close other women off their circles if their women are over the age of 30 and they're not married. Because they become very, very, very careful. And I hear a lot from women. Women say, oh, Cash, my friends aren't inviting me to their girls' nights out, and they're not inviting me to their girly kind of mum's days out. They're leaving me out. They're making me feel invisible. And I'm like, why do you think that is? And they're like, because obviously you know, they don't want me in their circle because I'm single and I'm all about my career. It's interesting because I say this to women, that the way in which you're perceived in terms of your value changes when you get over the age of 30. And it's important to understand that. People don't care about how much money you have as a woman when you're over 30. They care about, do you have a husband? Do you have your own home? Do you have a family? Do you have kids? They don't care about how much money you have. Because that means nothing to them, right? But they want to know, people really care about what you can bring to them, what value you can bring to them. If you have children, then they know they can let their children play with your children, right? Socialization. They know that if you have a family, you're at the same kind of stage as they are. You're experiencing the same types of problems as they are, so they can relate to you. But if you're a CEO and you're working 60 hours every week and your friend is a mother at home, the problems that you have are completely different problems. She's talking about nappies and waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning and how the child is teething. You're talking about how you're getting a lawsuit from one of your employees and you're dealing with sexual harassment. It's completely different things. Now you can be saying, well, Kasim, hold on a minute, because I'm an open person and but most people aren't like you, okay? Most people aren't like you. You're the exception, and you know you're the exception. So I think it's really important for that. So most women over the age of 30 are not going to want to work. They're hypergamous. They want to marry along and across. So the thing that you have with that, and you have to remember, is that any time a woman... how did I put this? I wrote this in my journal, but I won't be able to find it. How I put it is, men will cheat if the woman is fit enough or good looking enough and they can get away with it. Women will cheat if the man is either good looking enough or he has enough money. Meaning, if a woman can find a man who's identical to you, you're a good man, you're fit, you're well educated, but you earn 50k a year, and there's another man who's exactly like you, who's good looking, who's fit, who's a good man, but he earns £10 million a year, she's always going to go for the man with the more money. Sorry. Now, I know most lads wouldn't, because most lads are like, no, she's a mother of my children. That's not how women work. Now, that's not how some women work, because I know you're going to say, well, Casimir, not all women are like that, blah, blah. I get that, but that's not how most women work. Most women, if they can get a man who's got more financial stability, they're going to go for that, versus if both men are the same. Do you understand what I mean? But whereas men, we value more a woman who is not as promiscuous, a woman who is a homemaker, a woman who is feminine. Men would rather take a woman who is a 6 out of 10 in terms of looks, but has a 9 personality. But we don't care how much money she has. Whereas women would rather take a guy who is a 4 out of 10 in terms of looks, but is a 9 in terms of income. Does that make sense? So it's really important for you as a man to remember this kind of stuff. It's been my experience. I don't know, maybe you took something completely different away from this, but that's what I thought. That's what I wanted to share with you. I hope it's been useful in some way. Comment below what you took away from the whole thing. I'd love to hear what you think. If you want to help me get to 1,000 subscribers, please, by June, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye for now.